Sean Dyche, a dead man walking. Burnley near the Premier League. They face Arsenal today. There was frustration in the first game for both sides as Burnley and Arsenal played out a 0-0 draw. Burnley near the bottom of the league and just can't buy a goal at the moment. But are they ready for an Arsenal team who under Mikel Arteta are going great guns and smash Crystal Palace 3-0 on the match on Sunday with some terrific finishing and some terrific celebrations as well. It's the replay, Arsenal against Burnley for a place in the fourth round of the FA Cup at the Emirates tonight. A very good evening to you all from the Emirates Stadium. Arsenal against Burnley, our live match replay. It's 0-0 between the two sides at Turf Moor, as I said 10 days ago. This really is an important game in both these club seasons. They're probably their last chance to survive. Though Arsenal have Europa League football in the new year, but you never know what might happen as regards this. Arteta against Dyche. Burnley, of course, still in a battle to stay in the Premier League. Of course, they'll have bigger fish to fry, but they're putting an expected full-strength side out because they do want to take the cup seriously. Sean Dyche has said previously that they want to take this competition very seriously, and the teams are just about ready to go. So let's join our big match commentator tonight. Here's John Moore to take you through this FA Cup third round replay live here from the Emirates Stadium. John, it's all yours. Thanks a lot, Johnny, and welcome to the Emirates Stadium for this third round replay. 0-0 between the two sides at Turf Moor just over 10 days ago. But this really will be a tough test. Burnley were very unlucky. Aubameyang as well came very close in that first game, and he's one that Burnley really need to watch. Was on great form, although it was Lacazette who stole the show towards the end of that game against Crystal Palace on Sunday afternoon. Sean Dyche knows the importance. He's all smartened up in his overcoat. It's like a guy for the Undertakers, but he's selected a very strong Burnley side. Burnley, of course, in that lower end of the Premier League table, in danger of getting into that relegation battle if they don't start picking up some form. And they have Arsenal to come in the next 4 Premier League games, in fact. Let's take a look at the teams then. Let's start with Arsenal. Freddie Ljungberg's picked a very experienced side. Arteta, although it says Freddie Ljungberg on our caption, it's still a very good side, capable. And with Lacazette and Aubameyang, it's more or less the same team that beat Crystal Palace. For Sean Dyche, well, he's able to go on the services of Gunnarsson, same back 4, pace with Tillotton and Taylor. Wood and Barnes, you know what you'll get up front with them. And watch out for Dwight McNeil again. He was one of the stars in the original game 10 days ago. So Lacazette to get us away. Arsenal in the red shirts, Burnley in the change strip of all light blue. I suppose that this cup tie really has a real edge to it. Tierney now for Arsenal. Westwood in strongly. The ball just about went out of play off Westwood for a throw to Arsenal. Remember, if it ends the draw after 90 minutes, we will have the extra half an hour, and if it's level after that, penalties. Lacazette stopped by me. Taylor. What a nice ball too. And McNeil's in the clear now. A real opportunity now for Burnley. Bellerin, who's no slouch himself over shorter distances than that, getting away as the rain pulls down as we look at the clock end of the ground here. Famous clock coming down from Highbury, the old ground. Cork. Westwood with a shot. And well plucked out the air by Bernd Leno. Tremendous bit of goalkeeping by him. Another good header one there. Also, you may have seen on the captions at the start, very strong benches for both sides. Jay Rodriguez on the bench, and Pepe, of course, for Arsenal. Lacazette, who I think got a brace against Crystal Palace on Sunday afternoon here on the match on ITV. Arsenal into those top 4 positions with that win over Palace at Selhurst Park. They're fighting to stay in the Premier League. 6 points above that trapdoor of the bottom 3. Cork almost caught in possession then. Wood round the corner, Gudmundsson. And then, let's see what he can do here, Gudmundsson. Tracked all the way by Socrates. Did really well there to get away from the Greek defender. And then I put the commentator's curse on him. He gives it straight away to Torreira. He gets Lacazette on his way. Now then, problems now for Burnley. It might be up to Nick Pope now to save them. And he can't. And Arsenal going in the lead. Alexander Lacazette, the scorer, continues his terrific form from Crystal Palace on Sunday. And Arsenal go in the lead in the third round replay. Flex stay down. Burnley were caught out at the back. Pope tried to spread himself, but Lacazette was a tremendous finish. And there's nothing that the England goalkeeper could do about that one. Arsenal in the lead. 23 minutes of the game gone. And Burnley, under Dyche, haven't got a particularly good record in the FA Cup. The furthest they got was the 5th round 3 years ago, and they were knocked out of that by then non-league Lincoln City. So the omens don't look too good for Sean Dyche's men at the moment. 1-0 to Arsenal. Ozil now takes it up. Torreira. That might just settle Arsenal down a little bit now. This is Bellerin. And Lacazette getting behind that defence, and me having to watch him all the way like a hawk. It's a tremendous tackle in, but it's a corner kick to Arsenal. So we see again that goal. Pope came out, did his best. Couldn't stop it going into the back of that Burnley net. In fact, it's a goal kick. So Burnley 1-0 down. Barnes jump in. Aubameyang takes it up for Arsenal. Torreira now for Arsenal. Aubameyang. Lacazette. And the ball played in now. Now to play for a goal kick. In fact, it was Ozil trying to drop kick that. In Aubameyang's path. But it's a goal kick. The rain still pours down here at the Emirates Stadium. Pope with the kick. Finding Welton, but he's lost it. And the ball through now to Ozil. Aubameyang now. Tarkowski to meet him. And the ball across, and Nick Pope did really well to cut that one out. Did tremendously well, and then Jack Cork rather stupidly gave the ball away. And Burnley are in trouble. However, the shot has gone wide from Torreira for a goal kick. Arsenal on top here in this first half, there's no doubt about that. Burnley really need to get their brain into gear because they haven't played well at all in this first half. Welton, Tarkowski available, or rather, sorry, I should say Gudmundsson was available. Me, straight to Torreira. That's been the story of the match for Burnley so far in this first half. Well won by Westwood. Did really well there. Now Taylor. Running into traffic. Ozil now takes it up for Arsenal. Of course, we'll have the full 4th round draw after this match. And the long ball forward, and the flag has stayed down. Out comes Leno, and Wood is onto it, but so too is Leno.
There will be a minimum of 3 minutes.
And as you can hear in the public address system behind, in the background, 300 minutes. Given away to Westwood. Now then, a chance here now for Ashley Barnes. Can't beat Louise, and there goes the half-time whistle. Well, Arsenal dominated the first half. Burnley really haven't tested Leno enough for their liking, and they're trailing here on a very wet surface in this third round replay. The goal from Lacazette after 25 minutes. Half-time, Arsenal 1, Burnley 0. Welcome back as Andy Radley, the referee, gets us away in this third round cup replay. 1-0 to Arsenal. John Moore in the commentary box. And a disappointing night for the Lancashire side. Down in the 4th round of Manchester City last year. At the moment they may be falling at the first hurdle this year, unless they can find a goal in the second half. Gudmundsson charging through the centre now. Wood up ahead of him, and Wood is in. A real chance now for Chris Wood. And it's 1-1. Chris Wood has equalised. And Burnley are back in this tie. It's one apiece. And the big New Zealanders got right through an Arsenal defence. And that's what the Clarets make of it. Gudmundsson with a wonderful ball through the middle, piercing the Arsenal defence. And Chris Wood has leveled it up now for Burnley. And in the back of that Arsenal net, and 3,000 jubilant Clarets go mad. And Sean Dyche, well, what a moment for him. Chris Wood has got his side back into the cup tie and into this replay. 1-1.
Goal for Burnley. Number 9.
And now as things stand, we could be on for extra time, possibly penalties if it was to stay this way. But that's given Burnley a real fillip. Lowton. Gudmundsson. Terrific start of the second half for him. And Neil available, so too is Taylor. And it's all of a sudden now it's Burnley with their tails up. The idea was good there from Taylor initially, but the execution not so. Barnes. Westwood. Guendouzi doing well to bundle Westwood off the ball there. That midfield battle. Ozil, nice touch. With a good tackle there by Tarkowski, and he's got Westwood on his way now. Cork is free in a little bit of space there. So too is Dwight McNeil if he can thread a fall through. Cork kicks back though and wins possession. Now then, Dwight McNeil. Westwood. Lowton 3 on that near side. Lowton swinging a ball in there towards Ashley Barnes. And a goal kick. Well, we're halfway through the second half already. 1-1. As things stand. We're on for that extra time. Jack Cork. Finding Bay. Finding Lowton. Wood. Now Westwood. It's a terrific tackle there by Derry Louise. Did really well there to get a toe on the ball before Westwood was about to pull that trigger there. Burnley have built up a head of steam, got an equaliser. They've really threatened right from the word go in this second half. But here's Aubameyang. Goal kick.
Substitution for Burnley. Coming off the pitch, number 4.
And he realised Danny Drinkwater's gone to Villa, but in this game he's a Burnley player and he's going to come on now for the Clarets. Just give it a little bit more edge in that midfield. Cork has just been a little off the pace tonight. Barnes jump in. And again. Still 1-1. Quarter of an hour just under the play, sorry. Louise for Arsenal. And David Louise again. Ben May getting a good touch on that. And now here's Westwood. And Gudmundsson's made a terrific break. And now Westwood takes it up. Barnes up ahead of him. And Barnes might just use his strength. Bellerin was there though for Arsenal. Still 1-0 pace. Lowton. McNeil. Wood. McNeil again. Oh, what? Just couldn't play the ball in. 6 minutes to go. 1-1. Nice. Arsenal now careless in possession. Gudmundsson. Nicely played into the path of Barnes. And Barnes will hit one against the defender. Socrates the Greek in the way. And it's Arsenal now on the attack, and Darren leads the ball people's forward, but the flag is up for offside. Arsenal bound to make a change at the end of the 90 minutes. Granit Xhaka to replace Guendouzi. Well, whoever scores now, with literally seconds of this game to go. We're going through to the fourth round, but the odds are seemingly close to extra time at the moment, unless Wood can do something here for Burnley. Oh, a bounce! Good save, Bruno! And Sean Dyche knows that was the replay for them. Ashley Barnes, and a good big right hand by Bern Leno has kept Arsenal in the FA Cup. Corner to Burnley when it could have been so much more. McNeil to take it. He plays that in there. And again the bodies were in there, but Leno got a fist to it. And Aubameyang to bring it away, and now we're going to have half an hour's extra time. So news at 10 will have to be extended. 1-1. Chris Wood equalising that goal from Lacazette, and it's extra time coming up. Away we go again then. 15 minutes time away. Extra time. The match live. News at 10. We'll follow this programme. So Tom Bradbury will have to wait a little while. Taylor. There's still no decision at the end of half an hour's extra time. Penalties will be deciding it. Lacazette. In a game that's really in nowhere close to being decided. Tarkowski hugging that away. 7 minutes gone in extra time. Still 1-1. Louise, good cross in there, but Mee got there first, and McNeil spectacularly hitting that one away. Now Gudmundsson, and Chris Wood rather on his own. Burnley holding in there. Oh, Nicola Pepe, who's just come onto the field. An aberration by him. Gives Burnley a cheap throw, which will not please Mikel Arteta too much. McNeil's throw. Drink water. Last minute of the first half of extra time. It's Burnley on the rampage here as we go to the... Oh, and that almost got through. Socrates there. And Chris Wood almost on the end of it. Here he is now. Burnley well in possession here now as they look to try and win this cup tie. But there goes the whistle. For the end of the first period of extra time. No breakthrough. Second half coming up after the break. 1-1. Welcome back to the Emirates Stadium, where there's been a half-time substitution when you were away on the commercials. Off went Ashley Barnes, and on comes the hometown boy, Jay Rodriguez. Here's Martinelli. He's come on as well in the second period of extra time. Gudmundsson. Rodriguez up ahead, so too is Wood. Drink water. Westwood. Wood over on the near side now. Tierney across, the former Celtic player. Well, inside the last few moments now, this extra time. The flag stays down here against Aubameyang, but he's been forced into the corner. But he's outpaced Tarkowski. There's nowhere, but Bentley was in good position. 5 minutes to go to penalties now, potentially, if there's no further scoring. Gudmundsson trying to make something of it. Xhaka now. 2 minutes to go, and then it's those dreaded penalties. Martinelli. And Louise forward. Louise with a shot off the crossbar. Would you believe it? Arsenal so close to winning it in the last seconds of extra time, and it ricochets off the angle of post and crossbar. 200 minutes, incidentally. As we go into those 2 minutes.
There will be a minimum of 2 minutes.
Wood with a header, Xhaka with a header. And there goes the full-time whistle. So those goals from Lacazette and Wood are the different. Are going to take us into extra time. No deciding them now. It's 1-1 after extra time. Join us after the break. Live for the penalty shootout. Coming right up. Welcome back. So we're set already with the penalties. Nicolas Pepe scoring the first one for Arsenal. Chris Wood to get Burnley up and running and in the shootout. Oh, he's missed! Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang then to make it 2. He has! So Rodriguez needs to score this one. And he hasn't! And Luiz now could put Arsenal 3-0 up. And Pope has saved it! So Gudmundsson then for Burnley. They need one back. And they haven't. And it's been saved again. And now Arsenal are on course now to knock Burnley out of the FA Cup. If Xhaka scores, and he has. A disastrous penalty shootout for Burnley, and it's Arsenal who go into the 4th round of the FA Cup. It wasn't much in the end, but it was 2-3 saves from Leno that sealed Arsenal's passage. Pope made a terrific save himself. But Burnley did not register one, and that was the difference. Good penalty there from Xhaka. Right in the corner. And it didn't help Burnley's cause with the penalties being taken at the Arsenal end, but they put up a brave fight over 2 games, the Clarets, but have just come up short. They'll have a Premier League relegation battle to consider, and that's the big target for them, I'm sure. But for this season, the FA Cup, it's Arsenal go through into the next round of the FA Cup. It's finished 1-1 after extra time here at a relieved Emirates Stadium, and it's Arsenal who go through 3-0 on penalties. Johnny Wellesby, back to you. Thanks, John. John Moore there doing a sterling job in the ITV commentary box, and a terrific night for Arsenal as it turned out. Burnley gave them a good fight, but the Clarets bow out, I'm afraid. 3 own penalties and a penalty shootout, which most Clarets, I'm sure, will just want to forget. They're interested in the Cup for another year, but as I say, they'll have bigger fish to fry with the relegation battle, but they gave it a good go and were very unlucky. So Arsenal through. There have been other games tonight as well. Several teams, Premier League teams going as well as Burnley by the wayside. Preston 1, Swansea 2. That's a result at Deepdale, and Swansea going through to the 4th round draw, which you'll see in a moment. Sheffield United 1, Bournemouth 2 is a result. Bournemouth winning that game, and that finished 0-0, of course. The first game, and Sheffield United losing at Bramall Lane. Again, they have Premier League survival issue to sort out. Spurs and Wolves played out a thrilling 3-2 game. Spurs edging it 3-2. Coventry 1, Sunderland 2. Sunderland through to the next round of the FA Cup. League 1 represented in, and also League 1's knocked out championship tonight. Portsmouth knocking out Luton 1-0 at Thretton Park. So with all those replays done, let's take a check on the 4th round, shall we? Well, there are 4 pages full of this of the 3rd rounds, and let me go through them all very quickly. Millwall at home to Stoke City. West Brom are at home to Fulham in an all championship game. Spurs are at the Madejski Stadium against Reading. Watford take on Swansea. Chelsea at home to Leicester. That's a great tie, that one. All League 1 up at the Stadium of Light between Sunderland and Pompey. Charlton against Bristol City. Notts Forest against Fleetwood. Joey Barton taking Fleetwood to the 4th round. Bournemouth against Brighton in an all-South Coast derby. Norwich against Arsenal. Aston Villa against Newcastle. The tie of the round, arguably. Manchester United against Liverpool. What a tie that is. Everton against Leeds. Middlesbrough against West Ham. Huddersfield against Lincoln, and Cardiff City against Lincoln. And I can also tell you that the games between Everton and Leeds, Norwich and Arsenal, Aston Villa against Newcastle, and Manchester United against Liverpool will all be shown on ITV on 4th round day. All of those matches will be live with us. In fact, we're also throwing Bournemouth and Brighton as an extra match as well. So 5 matches to go through: Bournemouth against Brighton, Norwich against Arsenal, Aston Villa, Newcastle, Manchester United against Liverpool, and Everton against Leeds. All those matches you can see live on ITV. And as well as those cup ties I was talking about, we have we've had more league action, of course. The match back. There's 3 matches this weekend. We start our coverage on Saturday evening at Turf Moor. Burnley entertaining Leicester City, 5:20 live on ITV this Saturday evening from Turf Moor. Well, the FA Cup again never seems to lack drama. Burnley pushed Arsenal all the way. Arsenal took the lead and led at half time. Burnley came back second half, but Burnley just came up short when it mattered in the penalty shootout. It's disappointment for Burnley. They've got Leicester City to concentrate on, so they will be with us on the match on Sunday. As for Arsenal, they move on to the next round, and they will be away at Norwich. From all of us here at the Emirates Stadium on a dramatic night of cup tie action, see you on Saturday at Turf Moor. Bye bye.